It's a real delight to be here with all of you. And I was thinking, I have actually done whitewater rafting once on Class 5 rapids in Zimbabwe, actually. When I was posted to Mozambique. It was my third tour. And I don't know if I would have been let into the corporation based on my performance. We didn't have oars. We were just told to throw our body weight. We had somebody would tell us where to go. And trust me, I was doing what they told me to do, but I wasn't necessarily watching what anyone else around me was doing. But it was quite frightening, actually. I also wanted just to riff off, and then I have some formal remarks which I'll give, but riff off your point about hierarchy and being nonconformist. Like Craig, I am not an entrepreneur. I've been 32 years with the government and joined the government straight out of my graduate school. But I listened recently to a Harvard Business Review podcast about cross-cultural aspects in business. And they talked about decision-making styles, one being a sort of top-down decision-making and one being more consensual. And then this woman who was giving the lecture, and I'm sorry I don't remember it, but if you Google Harvard Business Review podcast, you can probably find this on decision-making and leadership. And then she talked, so top-down decision-making or consensual decision-making, but then you have different types of societies around the world. You have hierarchical societies and cultures, and then more flat cultures. So she said we sometimes confuse a flat culture with flat decision making. She said, for example, in the United States, it's a flat society. Anybody can make it big, but if you're the boss in a company or in the government, once you may elicit or solicit opinions from others, but once the decision is made, that's it. A place like Germany is both consensual decision making and a relatively flat society. In Asia, China, for example, is, you think of it as a very hierarchical society, which it is, but actually decision-making is consensual. They get a consensus before they move. India, and she used India as an example, is both a hierarchical society with a top-down decision-making style in government. So it's kind of a double whammy that you have to break out of as a leader, in a sense, in India. I just thought that was an interesting, it's not my views, and I'm sorry I don't remember her name, but Harvard Business Review podcast, which I found very fascinating. But that's what makes it even more remarkable for you all to have reached this position. And I'm so privileged to be here to be able to speak to you today. And I'd like to mention this phrase, women first, prosperity for all. That is the theme for this year's Global Entrepreneurship Summit, which will be co-hosted by the United States and India in Hyderabad, coming up at the end of November. This theme highlights the critical role that you and that all women play in fostering growth and prosperity. I'm very happy to be here as part of this, because this is really an event that's on the road to the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. We're calling this the Road to GES. So what you are doing is really a precursor to what we'll see played out when Ivanka Trump will lead the U.S. delegation from the United States. She'll be leading American CEOs and entrepreneurs as well as government officials. And they'll be joined by 1,500 talented upstarts and entrepreneurs and investors from around the world, approximately half of whom will be women. The Global Entrepreneurship Summit was conceived as a way to unite government with private sector partners and local businesses, along with civil society groups, to help create successful entrepreneurial environments. At the summit, budding entrepreneurs will participate in a business plan and business plan competitions to identify and support promising ideas like yours. The goal is to give entrepreneurs who have sound business concepts access to credit to enable them to put their ideas to work. Investors and mentors will help facilitate partnerships to share knowledge and strengthen business opportunities. The program you have just completed, with U.S. support and under the stewardship of TIE, the entrepreneurs, echoes the objectives set forth for the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. Your program, the All India Roadshow on Women's Economic Empowerment through Entrepreneurship, I see why you abbreviated the AIRSWIT, that's kind of a mouthful, also emphasizes mentorship and international networking, corresponding very nicely with the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. Congratulations to all of you for getting to this point. It's tough. I mean, I really, like Craig, I admire the risk that entrepreneurs take. When you're in government, you take a different type of risk, but not in the same way that you put yourself out as the way that you all have done. You lead by example, and your determination and dedication to your ideals and entrepreneur aspirations inspires us all. The fact that some of you have already attracted funding further highlights the success of this program and the tremendous, largely untapped potential of women entrepreneurs all across India. I would like to conclude about some ideas related to the concept of success. What does success actually mean? And Craig talked about this a little bit of one person's ideas, and I really appreciated those views. I know that the first thing that most people think about is money. Other people think about power. Success, meaning money and power. But success, as Craig has already talked about, is not just about money and power. I like the definition of success that American Nobel laureate Maya Angelou used when she said, success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. I also really appreciate what author and businesswoman Arianna Huffington said on this topic. She said, to live the lives we truly want and deserve, and not just settle for, we need a third metric, a third measure of success that goes beyond the two metrics of money and power, and consists of 4 pillars: well-being, wisdom, wonder, and giving. That is what I wish for you, and for all of us: well-being, wisdom, wonder, and giving. Real success rests in the differences we make in the world, in the lives of our families, our communities, our colleagues, and in our societies. You all are already making a big difference, and I am confident that you will continue to do so for many years to come. Thank you very much, and congratulations again.